Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20, and welcome to episode 21 of Direwolf20's Let's Play of all the mods Skyblock. Taking a look at, made some experience seeds between episodes, and threw them in my phytogenic insulator briefly so that I could tick accelerate it. So check this little trick out. Boom. And then I also made a little battery from power. So that can happen. Huzzah! At least until the battery runs out, which happens pretty quickly because it's not a very big battery. Because I didn't dig deep into power. I just made what you could make without getting infrastructure set up. So boom, battery dead. Drains out the battery capacitor in the insulator, and we're done. So that's pretty cool. And as a result, we get a healthy amount of these dudes, which I can then turn into these dudes. And then I can do this. And that's what I've been doing between episodes a little bit. I also bumped this guy up to holding 7. I had a book in my storage system, so I removed the holding 5 from there and applied holding 7. So we should be cool to hold lots of experience now, and hopefully enchant that thing that we wanted to enchant, which was this guy, right? Fortune 5? Yeah. Tombstone Soulbound. I have no idea what that is. What's Miner's Fervor do? You will mine very fast, but never instantly. That's cool. What's Tombstone Soulbound do? Preserves the item on death. Oh, so it's just like regular Soulbound. Cool. Okay, let's do it. 100 levels. Booyah! That's pretty cool. Now I can absorb all this stuff into my crystal, which should go pretty smoothly. My goodness, that's a lot of achievements. Enchant an item at 100%, 50, 50 at level 100, enchant an item at level 80. Wow, not bad. I'm curious as to how much this holding 7 crystal will be able to hold. Actually a lot, it seems, because I have close to 100 levels. That's not bad. Now, how fast is fast? I mean, I like that. I'm down with that speed. That's pretty good. Yeah. I'll keep all those enchants. And Fortune 5, because that's cool. Now, at some point, I might disenchant the Fortune 5 and do some Botania-type trickery to dupe it and get, many Fortune 5s. But we'll get there. We'll get there. So, hey, the things I've been working on the last few episodes have been pretty well accomplished. I got my mob farm going over here. I think everything's going pretty smoothly. Traveler's Goggles, huh? From Tinkers? That's cool. My concern, for the most part, is primarily focused around dealing with all these, item drops. We'll probably have to set up a trash can filter of some kind for that. Maybe I'll do that real quick. Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. The fluids are coming along nicely. I kind of abandoned dealing with this whole thing, but I could, vacuum it up if I wanted to. Wow, that's a lot of levels. It's getting very bright down there. And I think today's plan, what should we do? That's actually a really good question. I don't have a great plan for today. I should sit down and think about what we're going to do. Obviously, lots of things that we can get into infrastructure-wise. I do want to improve the applied logistics system. Is that what I said I was going to do? Was it between these episodes? I did some cleaning up of cabling down here. So you can see all my cables are now, the smart cables that show you the channels and everything. I think I cleaned that up between last episode and this one. So yeah, we're in good shape with that setup. I want to probably deal with the pattern providers, so maybe we'll do that today. Yeah, maybe we'll get applied logistics a little bit cleaner so that we can get ready to start automating all the things that we're going to need to automate. And let's take a brief moment to look at what quest-wise we should be jumping into. So obviously I haven't really been following the quests all that much. There's lots of food type quests. There's mystical agriculture, which I've obviously started a little bit. We'll see. Do I need this farmland? I'm now remembering that this farmland exists, and I don't remember what it was all about. What was the purpose of this farmland? Because obviously the seeds are growing just fine, without that farmland. So what was the point of that farmland? I don't really remember. But either way, I'll look it up and remember at some point. And then there's obviously a bunch of, mystical agriculture stuff we could get into at some point. Ooh, magical soil. What's that? Allthemodium seeds? Used as crux for 3 different allthemodium seeds. Oh, cool. Okay. Neato. We've done a little bit of all the power, but not much. Create, we should get into at some point for sure. I know we're going to want some create automation going on. Industrial foregoing, you know, I did a lot of this, and unfortunately I never checked that box to say I'm starting industrial foregoing. So at some point I will collect all the rewards for that as well. Thermal series, same deal probably. Never really clicked the button. So I bet a lot of thermal stuff that I have is not counting, but not too worried about it. And then Botania, obviously, I should check that box as well. I guess I could make a quick Lexica to complete the quest. Sweet. Okay, that'll do. Okay. So let's do this. Let's look at all the Modium chapters pretty much actually done, with the exception of the alloys, which we didn't see doing much, and the food, which, again, I didn't really see a huge point to doing, at least not until we get... Once I get, like, maybe the seeds for all the Modium, then I might be interested in doing the foods. Because I'm sure that's some ridiculous food, and it would be cool to have in my backpack to auto-eat. But the creative chapters where things, I think, are all kind of going to come together. And our goal is to make the ATM star. That is the end item, I presume, that just, you know, that's it, right? Like, we make this, that's, quote-unquote, the end of the pack. And as you can see, the recipe is very complex. There's some red matter blocks, there's nether star blocks, there's unobtainium, alloys with all the Modium, right? And that's, you know, one of those alloys that we have to get more of these hearts for. So we have to figure out how to get more piglet hearts, but we'll deal with that. We're going to need Oblivion Shards, which is a Forbidden and Arcanus type combination, and the end of this Twilight Forest. So that's one thing. Dragon Soul, we get into Occultism, Botania Endgame, some more Forbidden and Arcanus stuff. Wither Compass is Apotheosis thing, and Ars Nouveau, Tier 3 Glyph. Mechanism, Endgame Mechanism stuff from Antimatter. So a lot of... It looks like each of these little pieces, all the compressed, huh? All right, that looks pretty straightforward. The Patrick Star, which is kind of funny. So obviously, this can only be crafted with Create Mechanical Crafters, so that's going to be a big deal. Nexium Emitter, Platinum Blocks, Wireless Receiver from A2, EV Solar Panel from Industrial Contraptions. So it's kind of cool. Like, if you look at it, basically all the end game stuff from all the mods are components to craft the Philosopher's Fuel, all the different things that we need to make. That's neat. Improbability device, improbable probability device, ultimate solar panel, CC tweaked. So a lot of stuff. So we're gonna absolutely need to jump into all the mods. So give me a minute to think about which mod I want to jump into real quick. These are the Mythic Botany runes, so we have to jump into Mythic Botany. That's cool. There's definitely a lot of incentive to do a lot of the different mods to work towards that endgame stuff. Neat. Okay. And I'm guessing these are like, you know, the individual pieces that come together to make up the star. Master of Space, huh? Well, that's cool. FTB Industrial Contraptions Antimatter. Quantum Catcher from Forbidden and Arcanus. Neato. All right. Give me a sec. I'll be right back. Is this creative stuff? Getting creative. Oh, cool. You can make creative motors. Nice. Oh, the ATM star is used to make creative motors and creative blaze cakes. That's cool. Same with infinite mana. Okay. Is there anything else that thing can make? That's pretty neat. Creative spellbook. Creative source jars. There's a lot of creative stuff that this thing comes together to make. That's neato. Like that. ATM star shards. Ooh, you can get the creative compressor from Pneumaticraft. Ooh, creative generators. Nice. Can these little shards do anything? Super worm. Okay, cool. Water strainer mod. Creative flux efficiency. Process energy 0. It makes machines not cost energy. Interesting. All right, cool. All right, I'm getting distracted. We'll be back. Ooh, now this is interesting. I put one of the Tome of the Miners in my thing over there. As you can see, I have 97 levels. I drained all my Insightful Crystal stuff. And I could get Fortune 6. So I'm like, you know what? Let me try putting that on the Netherite Mesh. Because remember, we put the Netherite Mesh in the table, but it couldn't be enchanted. But I theorized that you might be able to do it at the... And yes, Fortune 6. That's kind of cool, right? Efficiency, unbreaking, tombstone, soul bound. All right, should we try that out? Oh, I probably shouldn't have done that at the level I was. Well, whatever, it's fine. It's fine. Experience ain't that hard to come by, trust me. It's all good. But yeah, that was a little bit of a meh, not great situation. Oh well. I want to try this out though. Let's see what happens. All right, so I'm setting up a little test here just to see how much of a difference this makes. So I took my extractor cards out of this node. I'm going to put, and I made a new netherite mesh because they're not expensive. It's one netherite ingot, it's fine. So I'm going to put the netherite mesh in there. I'm going to put 9 gravel stacks in the flux sieve and see what kind of resources we get. Then I'm going to process them by putting the cards back in, take the cards out, and then swap meshes and put another stack of 9 in. So let's see what the difference looks like, right? So I'm just going to do that, and then we'll get a bunch of resources accumulating in here. And that'll give us an idea of, you know, what we got, right? So I'm gonna say here's what we got with a non-enchanted mesh. Okay, so then we take this out, we open this up, we do this, which zoinks, clears everything out nice and quick. Pretty cool. I don't know if I mentioned it, but at some point I turned this into a netherite upgrade, so this thing compresses super fast, which is cool, I should say. I should speed this processing up a little bit. Like, I should definitely do, like, the mechanism, top tier, all that good stuff. Maybe that's what I'll do a little bit this episode. So now throw the enchanted one in there. Make sure the cards are not connected, right? No lasers, no cards. And throw this stack in. Oh my goodness, that's a big difference. Okay, I think we can clarify that fortune meshes work pretty good. It filled up after 3 stacks. Anybody have any questions? I think that worked out pretty good. I really do. Goodness gracious. I think it was important to upgrade this thing. Holy cow. That is an upgrade. I don't think anybody could even pretend that there is not a difference there. Fortune 6 worked out pretty good. I mean, I hope this thing can even keep up. Okay, yeah, no, we're good. We're good. That is pretty bananas level right there. All right, I would say that's cool. Okay, no questions. No questions, sir. No further questions. All right, let's do some mechanism-y type thing. You know what I want to do? I want to do the applied energistics thing. So I want to get the chandelier thing. So let's get some pattern dudes. I know I want like 30-ish of them. Okay. And I know I want some molecular assemblers. I think I want 70-ish. I think 80-ish. It's technically 32 patterns, 77 molecular assemblers, and if you want, you can throw 385 acceleration cards in there. Those are the metrics that you need. So what I'll do is be back in a minute once all this processing is done. And I assume this is working. I'm not sure that I've ever actually tested this. Do these guys all have acceleration cards in them? They have a few, not a ton. I should get more. Actually, I don't have the crafting CPUs for that, but if I do this, that should help. Oh wow, you have a lot of that in there. Holy cow. Probably going to want to do this. Wow, you have a lot of printed silicon circuit or printed gold circuits in there that don't seem to be being used properly. You have a, well, maybe there. I don't know, we'll find out. I'll be back in a few once all this processing is done. And then we'll probably want to speed some of this up as well. So be right back. All right, let's get working on building this thing. Now, I've done this a few times now, but I could always use a little extra practice. Let's go down a couple blocks from here. Like 3-ish? Does that sound cool? 3 sounds ish good. Because I think you put stuff on top, if I don't forget entirely. Pretty sure there's things that go on top of it, so I might want one more layer down, sure, just to be safe. And then from there, we can use the smaller dudes, and they go here, 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 and here. Okay, I always like building one of these on camera per season, just to make sure that, you know, everybody who's watching kind of sees what's up. Now, if you just Google like AE2 assembler tree, you'll find the Reddit post where whoever came up with this came up with it and talks about, you know, the nuances. And then there's pictures to follow to build it. It's pretty straightforward though. We just kind of go around on all sides here. Not that one. And then on the bottoms. That's cool. Okay. So that's what we're looking at. Starting with that. Then from there, in the corners of these things, we're going to put molecular assemblers. Okay. And then on the ends as well are molecular assemblers. And now inside these, you could place acceleration cards, but like I said, you're going to need a lot. You need like 800-ish. And I just don't have the diamonds for that. Meh. So I'm not going to worry about doing it. If maybe at some point I'll come back and put acceleration cards in these guys, but for now it's not all that important. And then outside, so we've got, you know, those there, and then on the outside we want our pattern providers, right? So before, this used to be interfaces, but now pattern providers is what you do. Okay. So that looks pretty cool, right? Okay. I think that's right. Pretty sure that's right. Yeah. Looks good to me. All right. Now, on top of all the interfaces, we put another batch of pattern providers. Now, I'm going to do this upside down. So basically, underneath, I'm going to do... The pictures online show it being opposite of this. I like to build it downwards, but if you're following the online guide, just know that do it upside down, because that's what I'm doing. And then these four go in the middle. Cool. And I'm trying to remember, I think you run the dense cable in one more. So that it connects like that. Pretty sure that's right. And then here we'll do this and these. Cool. And then on the opposite side, we're going to replicate what we did on the first layer. So we do this. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I did everything correctly, that should be exactly 32 channels. Now, technically, you can also throw a bunch of molecular assemblers on the outside. But let's validate that this is the correct number of channels. So what I'm going to start with is by inserting all these guys into here. Okay. Make sure that we have a reasonable inventory. Because remember, most of these were full. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and turn these into some more denses. So like I said, if I configured everything correctly, this should be 32 channels in use. Boom! Look at that. Sweet! And everybody's online and glowing? Perfect. That's cool. And now if we look at cables, for example, we can craft. Perfect. So that means everything's, you know, behaving correctly. Awesome. And then, like I said, if you want to, you can cover the outside of these things. With a bunch of molecular assemblers. My recommendation, be smarter than me and have the exact amount of molecular assemblers and interfaces in your inventory that you need before starting this, because that way you'll know if you've placed everything correctly. I did not do that. I just kind of, grabbed a bunch of stuff and started going. But, meh, it all works out in the end. So this way the interfaces can, insert into multiple assemblers, and it'll allow for multiple craftings at once, which is cool. And any future ones of these that I build will definitely be done off camera. But now we have a ton of space available for auto crafting, which is going to be good for us because we're about to get into doing a lot of that. So check this bad boy out. Oh yes, all the crafting slots, beautiful. What I also probably wouldn't mind is doing a few more of these, like 4K or maybe even 16K storages. I should probably consider that. So let's look at that. So we know how to make 4K storage, right? If we wanted a 16K, we should be able to pull that off, no problem. Okay, and then we probably want a crafting storage that's 16K. And I think we need crafting units, because I don't think we know how to make those. And then we probably also want coprocessors, which should be pretty cool. And then we can go stick that wherever. Okay, and then we can make about 4 of these. And that shouldn't be too bad. Nice. So we're just waiting for the calculation processors to craft, which is not a big deal. It all should be working down there. I might look into speeding these guys up further, because I'm pretty sure we got lazier AE. Though I remember that being a lot of work, but the circuit etcher was pretty fast, if I remember from that mod. But we'll see. We shall see. Yeah, we're getting there. While we're at it, let's do coprocessors too. So I know I'm going to probably want 3 coprocessors per. So that would be 3 times 6 is 18. But I think we already have 2 down there, so let's do 16. And we'll be back when all this crafting is done. All right, so 16K CPUs. So let's do 1, 2. Remember, you want these to each have a gap between them. Oh, these are... my bad. Wrong ones. Okay. So that... oops, not that guy. There we go. We'll leave the 2 4Ks there if we want. Doesn't really hurt. Perfect. That's good, right? I mean, technically we could throw 2 more down and it wouldn't be a big deal, but meh. I think we're all right for now. This should work, right? As soon as I get more bricks, sure. Beautiful. Loving it. Okay, cool. So now we've got a much better handle on what will likely be a long-term plan for auto crafting. Now, let's improve mechanism a little bit and then decide what path we want to take. Because clearly we need to get into Pneumaticraft, Botania. I'd like to do Blood Magic. Basically, I want to touch all the mods in the Skyblock series, especially because we have some significant resources that we don't have to worry too much about. Though, in fairness, I would like to automate this system a little bit so that we don't have to manually do this. So that might be another thing I work on either in the next day or 2. For now, let's just throw another stack of this in here. I love how fast that is. Can we agree that that is just the coolest? That is great. That is just a stupid amount of resources all at once. I love it. All right, let's get this stuff betterized, okay? Because I know we want this to be improved. So let's get an interface down there. And what I'm also thinking we might want is a crafting card. And it's probably a good idea to teach you how to make these cards, because I always want crafting cards, right? Okay. So you're good and you're good. And we also want to probably look up what mechanism things do we already know how to craft? Only the red ones? Okay. So let's also teach you how to make this. And what I'm going to say is forget that bit, forget that bit. It's just going to be red becomes blue. Okay. And then you, same deal here. Forget those two bits. Blue becomes that. And those guys are going to live down here. I might need a pattern provider for you. Yep. And which one are you? You're a basic infusing factory for carbon. I should probably throw that in there too. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How are we on channels here? Are we choking it out? Probably a bit, yes. Probably a bit of choking. The energy acceptor doesn't use a channel, if I remember correctly. So we might actually be pretty cool here. Though you're running all the way out, so we're probably overloading our channels, if I'm being honest. I should get into P2P a little bit. Should we look at that? Should we do the P2P thing? Probably should. Let's do P2P stuff. Because I like that too. ME P2P Tunnel. And then that's the network tool. Could just be any memory card, right? Yeah, memory card. I just want one of those. Come on, you can do it, buddy. I gotta speed that up down there, don't I? Definitely. And then let's get you added. Go ahead and just make 10 of those to get things going. So memory card ready to go. We're also going to want the anchors, and we're going to want the quartz dudes for energy purposes. And let's see if P2P has changed much. Oh, hooray. Quest complete. So what we're going to want to have is off of this dense cable, we're going to want the P2P memory dude, right? And then we're going to want this guy to connect to just energy. Or I could do the energy connector bit here, which might be a little bit cleaner cable-wise. That could be cleaner. Yeah. So that's not using any channels. This guy won't be using any channels. I should really consider putting the energy connector somewhere else. I'm thinking the energy connector, though it could stay there. There's nothing that says it can't stay there. Is there somewhere convenient that I can stick this dude? You're an ME interface for what purpose? Oh, that's right. You're accepting... What are you doing? I have no idea. Oh, you're getting the resources from that. Okay, I remember now. I remember now. So what if I put the energy collector here? And allowed you guys to connect. Would that be cool? And now you should be back online. And that frees up a little bit of space. So then over here, I'm going to want to disconnect these guys. We're going to put the output of our memory card here. And that should be fine. So I'm going to put you here. We're going to use this memory card. So you now have a configuration copied to you, and then we load it up over here, and that's 7 channels going across 2 channels. That should be cool. And in total, we're using 19 there. Perfect. And what I'll do is I'll just stick the output of this guy here. Load this up. And then that. And then you should be 2 more channels. That's 3 in the middle line, and that's 21 going into there. Cool. So that should be good. Okay. Now you are redstone, so you've got that guy. You're diamond, so you're going to get this guy, and then you're going to be obsidian, and you're going to get this guy. Now, do you, Enriching Factory, know how to make all the enrichings? Probably not. So let's get that. So 1, 2, 3. And while we're at it, we should teach you how to make refined obsidian, which is a crusher metallurgic infuser recipe. But I'm going to remove these 2 because that goes into the diamond one. Okay. And obsidian dust can be a enrichment chamber of obsidian. Okay, that works. So you go into the enrichment chamber. You go into the diamond guy. And then you're also an enriching chamber guy. Cool. Now I would like to have probably let's remove all this. And I'm thinking I might want laser IO stuff here because I'm going to want to do that. Now, are you auto outputting to the bottom? Is that how you're set up? Input and output with eject on to the bottom. That's kind of cool. But what we want to have configured for at least these guys... Oh, are you not configured that way? My bad. Purple, auto eject on. But then in the back, we want to... Is it input or is it extra that I need? I think it's extra, right? So we'll test that in a minute. Did I also do the coal one, by the way? I don't think I did that. We should. So enriching chamber, only because I want you in some semblance of an order. Yeah, buddy. So then you guys will all get energy cards in you, because we're definitely going to need that. Where's my card holder? Is it in here and I missed it? It is. So you guys insert energy. And let's get you. Link these 2. And we should probably do something about... You know what I could do? In theory, this should work. In theory, it should. Actually, that should work. I don't know that it is. Interesting. You don't seem like you want to do that. That should work. Extract 1,000. You know what? It might be that I have to do this and this. That looks connected now, but the laser's not drawing, which is weird. It should be, but it's not. Let's test this real quick. Do you... Yeah, you're working. Why doesn't the laser draw? That's weird. It should. Definitely should. But it's working, so that's fine. We'll change it up in a bit. Now, importantly, we're going to want, well, probably just here, an interface with a crafting card. And you're going to get setting up for auto crafting. And remember, we do have an extra channel for this. Remember, we had 7 channels down there. We now have an 8th. This will be an interface that will hold the enriched items that we need for all this. Now, can I drag this? Good. 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 And good. And they should be making what we need to make. Maybe. You're also wrong. That's why. Now you're good. Auto eject on. You're cool, I know that. You're cool, I know that. You're cool, I know that. Good. And now you enriched, and then you should be good. Perfect. Cool. I do want to add the upgrades here, by the way. So let's get the energy, speed. Oh, I think I just reversed those. That's speed and that's energy. And usually we should do gas as well, just because we do not want to forget that that's a thing. Okay. Get those auto-craftable. Can we get 30 what we want? 8, 16, 24, 32. So we need osmium dust, which is just a crusher recipe. And do we need the gold dust for the energies? We do. And I'm assuming we need iron dust for the gas upgrades, so we might as well get that in there too. And that can go into the crushing factory. And now we can get 32 of these and 32 of these, with plenty of leftover stuff to do. Now, next up, we want to get this going. So how about on the down, we're going to extract. Okay. And then we want to insert into each of these guys. So how about on the down, we hold off on that extraction just yet. And what we'll do is we'll put the inserts into this. And remember, the back should be yellow. So the back should be yellow. The back should be yellow. The back should be yellow. And the back should be yellow. Okay. And then we're going to want probably a counting filter, because I don't want to fill up too much. So we want 4 of these. Okay. And what I'm going to want is each of you ready to go. Technically, I could drag out of JEI, but it's easier from my inventory. So since I have easy access to them, it's cool. So I'm going to put a counting filter in there and 1 enriched carbon. Okay. And I'm going to put a counting filter in there and 1 enriched redstone. And yada, yada, yada. Okay. So now if on the down, I did this again, he should start getting his stuff. And what we should see is things happening. Oh yeah, look, the carbon's filling up. Cool. I should probably speed you up with an overclocker a little bit. You know what else I could do is I could probably... How about 8 at a time? That should be cool, right? And now it'll quickly fill these up and keep 1 extra in the buffer at all times. Cool. And then you are probably enriching more for me. Maybe. I don't know. Sweet. All right, now let's get our upgrades and make sure everybody's fully upgraded, right? So you guys are a good example of who's not. We're just going to make sure everybody's fully upgraded here. That works for me. Pretty cool, right? I like it. Now everybody should be getting filled up. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, the last thing I want to do before we wrap up the episode is make sure that we've got all the tier installers ready to go. And that should be easy. Though there's probably a few of these that we don't know how to make, so we'll deal with that in a minute. Cool. So if I wanted tier installers, let's get like 10 of these. Right, we need the control circuits. So do we know how to make any circuits? Do we know how to make these? We do not. Okay, so we should probably teach them all. So you're going to be just osmium becomes a circuit. And then you're going to be this. And then you're going to be this. And that. Doesn't really matter where we put these guys. Oh, that's not right, though. Not in the infusing factory. Definitely in the molecular assemblers. This one goes into the redstone infuser, right? Cool. 10, 10, 10. Cool. All right, so I'm going to probably, let's say, wrap up the episode here. Wow, we need a lot of confused alloys. That's going to be a little bit... That's not bad, actually. It's cooking. It's cooking. Do you have an energy problems? You might be having energy problems. What I could do is throw an overclocker in there. That'll keep everybody happy, right? For sure. All right, let's wrap up the episode here. Come back next time, and we'll start progressing through some of the mods that we're going to need to get into creative mode, right? So for now, Del20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.